Good Thursday afternoon, and thank you for joining us on Kare 11 News Now. I'm Rena Sargentopoulos. Developing right now, Iran is likely behind the cyber attacks on several water systems across Minnesota. According to the New York Times, U.S. state officials believe Iranian hackers launched the attacks earlier this week, forcing one city's well and treatment plant to go offline temporarily. Right now, it does not appear that the quality of water in any of the cities that were affected, or were targeted, I should say, is affected. Also new this afternoon, more camping, hiking, and boating areas are opening up this weekend in Superior National Forest. They've been closed for weeks now while crews battle those wildfires across northern Minnesota. Right now, more than 40 entry points are open again in the Boundary Waters. Campers can now access parts of the central and eastern sections of the BWCA for day and overnight use. Officials tell us they're reopening nearly 40% of the Boundary Waters. That's good news. Officials say rain has helped with those wildfires up north. Right now, they are more than 50% contained. Developing right now, a man is dead and another in the hospital after a shooting near Lowertown, St. Paul. This is video from the scene on 7th Street East near the Buttered Tin. When officers arrived, they found one man outside who had been shot in the stomach. He died at Regions Hospital. Another man was found inside an apartment building, shot in the leg. He is expected to be okay. No arrests have been made. New details today in the sexual harassment allegations against St. Paul Mayor Kare. The mayor's accused of sexually harassing city employees, including Police Chief Axel Henry. In a formal complaint, Chief Henry included a text message sent by Mayor Herr to a police officer in which she photoshopped his face onto a meme making a sexual reference. We have also confirmed complaints made by a female deputy chief who said Mayor Herr made inappropriate comments while they were in a locker room together. That deputy chief also reported the mayor making loud sex noises while stretching in front of police officers at the department workout room. In a new statement, Mayor Herr says her attempts at humor, quote, fell short. She says she is confident the full facts will come to light and she does intend to stay in office. The question now, though, is what happens as Mayor Herr and Chief Henry now have to work together on several high-profile issues. The two will be taking a multi-department approach as the city is set to close a large homeless encampment at Pig's Eye Park next week. Herr's announcement already sparking pushback and concerns from the community. A defense attorney not involved in this investigation saying political fallout is a very real possibility.
It's going to really necessitate the highest of maturity and the highest of cooperation between departments to continue to function and serve the people.
We also reached out to several leaders within the Hmong community, none of whom wanted to go on camera, but offered a shared hope that the mayor and chief can amicably resolve this issue. As we mentioned, St. Paul does plan to clear the city's largest homeless encampment next week, where more than 100 people are living near Pig's Eye Park. However, the people living there say tearing down the encampment won't solve homelessness. It'll simply move it somewhere else. Here's Jessica Hart.
Outside St. Paul City Hall,
stop the sweeps!
Chants
Stop the sweeps!
of frustration have reached its peak.
These are real human lives. This is going to be a humanitarian crisis.
Frustration over the city's decision to clear homeless encampments, starting with the largest one at Pig's Eye Park on August 5th.
I just hope
Muhammad Flowers,
something changes.
who goes by Cash,
Anything.
doesn't want to say goodbye to his home.
Do you know how hard it is to wake up every morning already hot and thirsty, knowing that you can't go to the store and get anything to drink because you have no money, and wondering where you're going to get that drink?
Because Pig's Eye is all he has.
I don't understand how people could go to sleep at night knowing what they're doing, what's going to happen on the pit.
We're just trying to stop that.
Leah Walker also lives there.
A lot of people like myself still need this. I'm on the verge of getting my housing. People are trying to get their housing, but it's the rush that's going on is just not going to cut it.
In a July 8th press release, the city says it's closing the encampments because an assessment found reports of fires, sexual assaults, thefts, 2 overdose-related deaths, and other emergencies. Leah says they're doing what they can to make Pig's Eye safer.
There's good and bad everywhere, but I just feel like the city magnifies our bad. And I think that the city just needs to recognize that they're not perfect either. They have their mistakes, and we make mistakes.
Clearing encampments, Leah and others say, would be another city mistake, a mistake in which they say hundreds of people will pay the price.
We did reach out to the city for comment and have not heard a response as of this time. Concerned community members have created a coalition called Stop the Sweeps. They're demanding the city create a committee to focus on real solutions and pause all encampment clearings unless residents agree the encampment should close. This morning, Brooklyn Park Police say a second suspect is in custody following a deadly shooting at Hartkoff Park earlier this month. The shooting happened just before 11 p.m. on Sunday, July 5th. Police say a 16-year-old died after being shot in the head. Investigators say they did arrest a 17-year-old boy last night in Peoria, Illinois. He's now awaiting extradition back to Minnesota. Police previously arrested another 17-year-old in connection to that shooting. Minneapolis police say they are resurrecting a program aimed at investigating non-deadly shootings. The unit is called the Firearm Assault Shoot Team, or FAST, and it involves detectives from different departments, including Ramsey County, Metro Transit, ATF, and the Bureau of Criminal Apprehension. The detectives show up to non-fatal shootings and investigate the same way they would homicides. This practice ended in 2022 due to staffing issues. Lieutenant Andrew Schroeder from MPD says investigating non-fatal shootings is just as important as homicides.
We know that these non-fatal shootings are failed homicides, and it's only a matter of time or a millimeter until someone is killed.
Data from MPD shows this year there have been about 140 victims from non-fatal shootings compared to nearly 30 murders. The lieutenant says there are more open cases than closed, but his goal is for 60% closure within a year. New today, President Trump says he may pull Todd Blanche's nomination for Attorney General. This comes just hours after the Senate Judiciary Committee postponed a planned vote to advance that nomination. That's after two Republican senators said they did not get written assurances about a settlement between President Trump and the IRS. Their biggest concerns are about the Anti-Weaponization Fund, which was established by the president after he sued the IRS over the disclosure of his tax records. Right now, Iran is promising to strike back after a wave of heavy U.S. attacks overnight. Central Command says those U.S. strikes are in response to an attack by Tehran on the U.S. forces in the Middle East. NBC's Matt Bradley has the latest.
Well, that days-long pause in the fighting between Iran and the United States appears now to be decidedly over. A fresh round of American strikes against targets in Iran happened overnight. They lasted about 2 hours, according to Central Command, and struck, according to CENTCOM, dozens of Islamic Revolutionary Guard targets in Iran, including military command centers, missile and drone facilities, coastal surveillance and defense sites, and maritime capabilities. Now, CENTCOM didn't give a precise number for the number of targets it struck, but it does look as though we're seeing what could become an enduring expansion of the battle lines of this conflict. Egypt confirmed on Thursday, today, that a drone had ignited 2 fires on natural gas vessels, on boats carrying natural gas in the port of Damietta, though they did not confirm whether or not those actually came from Iran. But other countries in the region said that they had intercepted strikes coming from Iran. Jordan said that it had intercepted a barrage from Iran. Kuwait said that an Iranian strike hit a building belonging to a Chinese company and that killed 1 worker. Now, the cause of all of this appears to have been Iran's strikes a couple of days ago against military facilities belonging to the United States in Jordan. The United States and Saudi Arabia, again expanding the conflict to include Saudi Arabia in a more offensive capacity. They struck against Iran-backed groups in the eastern part of Iraq, the Popular Mobilization Fronts, who enjoy somewhat of a now more distant relationship with the Iraqi government. They are definitely backed by Iran and opposed to United States influence in Iraq. Again, this represents an expansion of the conflict now, including Saudi Arabia and Egypt, if it is confirmed that those strikes that hit those boats in the port of Damietta came from Iran. Now, the president has continued to insist that negotiations are in the offing. The Iranians have continued to say that negotiations have not yielded anything, and that it looks as though they have been basically saying that it's not clear that any negotiations are taking place at all. Matt Bradley, NBC News, London.
Right now, the future of Minnesota's new law banning AI notification is uncertain. Just days before it is set to take effect, Elon Musk's company xAI is challenging its constitutionality. DFL Senator Aaron May Quaid and DFL Representative Jess Hansen said They're confident their policy will stand up in court. Minnesota's new law, considered first of its kind in the United States, places a ban on technology that uses photos of real people to nudify them. It is set to take effect this Saturday, August 1st, but Elon Musk's XAI is trying to prevent that, arguing in court that the law is, quote, overboard and poses a threat to free speech.
I don't see this as a free speech issue. This does not regulate content. It does not regulate art. It regulates conduct. Prompts are not art, and we protect art specifically in this law. Again, it's pretty audacious to sue to prevent a law that protects children from being turned into child sexual abuse material.
XAI is asking a federal judge in the District of Minnesota to find the law unconstitutional, also to ban Attorney General Keith Ellison from enforcing it. No ruling has been issued yet. Right now, Anoka County Sheriff is making his pitch for automated license plate readers, defending a contract that he signed to bring more flock cameras and drones. Sheriff Brad Wise signed that contract earlier this month for a total of $174,500. That's just under what would require county approval. It will bring roughly 10 drones and up to 75 additional license plate readers to the county, about double what exists right now. But it is fully up to each city where to put them or if they want to keep them. This move, though, has many concerned about data storage and access.
And all of the data right now, as we know, is being stored in a private company's cloud, and that goes far beyond the reach of Anoka County. And that's the concern. That creates a lot of anxiety.
We hear from tens, hundreds of people that are in opposition, and you're left to use your best judgment on what you think is best for the county and for the other residents that are in the county.
A flock company spokesperson tells Kare that they don't own or sell that data and that the data is deleted after 30 days. Stick with us. More news and weather coming up after the break.